Auto Club Speedway is the premier motorsports facility in Southern California, built on the site of a former Kaiser steel mill near Fontana in 1996 at a cost of $100 million. The track has 84,000 permanent seats and is home to a NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series race each spring. Constructed by Penske Corp as a clone of Michigan Speedway, the track was originally known as California Speedway. It was later purchased by ISC, which subsequently sold its naming rights to the Automobile Club of Southern California in 2008. In addition to a high bank oval, Auto Club Speedway features several road course configurations, which have been used for sports cars and motorcycle races, as well as an infield track used for testing purposes. Given its proximity to Hollywood, the track has also appeared in scores of movies, television shows, and commercials. Tonight, it's race number 4 of the Davidson Builders Cup Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Auto Club Speedway in its digital form. It's really all we've got now these days. With rumors of a short track on the horizon, we'll see if that ever comes to fruition. But for now, we're here at the old 2-mile oval, which everybody seems to love. Let's take a look at the race details tonight. 80 laps the race distance, 68-degree ambient temperature, 81% humidity, partly cloudy skies, a little breezy at 14 miles per hour. Track temperature, 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Drivers working with a 65% fuel load this evening. 2 change sets available over the wall as far as tires are concerned. And no fast repairs. Drivers without a safety net this evening. No need to worry about that. If you wreck the car, you got to get it fixed the old-fashioned way. Oh, and 3 green-white checkers if we need them. We did it last night in the IROC Challenge Series. We'll see if it comes up here tonight. Qualifying underway here at the Speedway. Couple of minutes in. Albert Anderson's first lap, 40.171. Was fastest for a moment as Woodard goes top of the board, but Dylan Bryant jumps down below 40 seconds, a 39.99. That was Bryant's second lap. Anderson crosses the stripe, finishes lap 2 a little bit slower. He's third on the board for now. Crystal Volano just finishing up her lap. 40.389, ninth quick so far. Mike Fahey, the number 19. .245 first lap for Mike Fahey. Fahey out of turn number 4. Pulls the car way down to the apron of the racetrack. Picks up just a bit, 40.064. Puts Fahey in the second row. Derek Welch takes the green flag on his attempt. Just over 4 minutes into this 10-minute qualifying session. Welch out of turn 4, going to complete lap number 1. Six quick, 40.144 for Derek Welch. Taking a look at the point standings coming into tonight. Zach Millett, top of the board last week. Top of the board in the standings. Then it's Matt Sisler, Dan Cunningham, Alfie Chowan Jr., PJ Cox, so on and so forth down the line. Furthermore, taking a peek at the schedule here, 4th race of the season here at Auto Club. Chicagoland next week, another track that we no longer go to in the real world. Should be a good one. Then Dover, Texas, Bristol, Daytona, then Nashville Super Speedway. Then into the playoffs. Welch finishes up his qualifying attempt, 40.059, puts him P4. Paul Durkee's first lap, 40.26, puts him 12th. Seen some drivers pick up on their their second lap. Some not so much. We'll see if Durkee can go a little bit quicker here as he's back to start finish. Going to wrap up his second lap. Not all the way down to the grass. We've seen some drivers closer to the start finish line. He does. Good lap though. Second quick. 39.965 for Paul Durkee. Outside front row. Still some heavy hitters to go. Daniel Cunningham, again out of Winchester, Virginia, the number 91. About to take the green flag. So what's great about this track, very wide, sweeping corners, but you've got a lot of options as far as what lane, what line you want to go with. Opens up a lot of opportunity for passing. Cunningham across the stripe. 40.5 his first lap. Nothing to get too excited over, but lap one, likely a throwaway. Jesse Redding, meanwhile, jumps up into 15th on his first lap. Redding out of Knoxville, Iowa. Meanwhile, Connor Leach has taken over the provisional pole, 39.954. Redding across the line, finish up his lap. Fifth best, 40.042. Zach Millett, first lap of 40.3. He's 21st right now. Working out of turn 4. Keeps it pinned real low on exit. Gets down to the apron right away. At the line, where does he land? He does it. Pole position, 39.879 for Zach Millett. On the provisional pole, Alfie Charon. 12th quick, finishing up his qualifying attempt, 40.106. Chris Goins in the Popple Teams, number 41, goes second quick, 39.924, outside front row for Goins. Mike Kostek in the number 8 Jack Daniels Chevrolet. Kostek of 41.003 on lap 1. Expect to see a pickup here on his second trip around. Decent pickup, 11th quick, just missed the top 10, 40.065. That may wrap it up for qualifying. There's 4 drivers that haven't taken the time just yet. Justin Lawson, Eric Beadle, Tom Barish, Chuck Kiger. 35-car field here tonight. And that's going to wrap it up here. Qualifying clock about to strike 10 minutes, so that's going to signify the end of this session. Things getting a little darker here at Auto Club Speedway. Let's take a look at the starting grid. We might as well. It's time on the pole position with a lap time of 39.879 seconds. It's the 3:15 from Track Bar Motorsports. It's Zach Millett. Outside front row, it's Track Bar Motorsports teammate Chris Goins. Missed it by 44 thousandths. Row number 2, it's the 71 of Connor Leach and Paul Durkee. Row 3, it'll be Mark Collins and Dylan Bryant. Row 4, Matt Sisler from M3S Motorsports and Jesse Redding, also of Track Bar Motorsports. Starting in row 5, Derek Welch from NTR. Mike Fahey will start 10th from Lone Star Racing. 11th starter is the 8 of Mike Kostek. Joshua Moore rolls from the 12th spot. 13th starter, Dan Cunningham. 14th goes to Alfie Jaron Jr. 15th starter in the 4, it'll be Jim Ott. Jarrett Woodard in the 79 starts 16th. 17th starter, it's Joe David in the 6. Jesse Sperling 18th, Brandon Coleman 19th. 20th goes to Albert Anderson. 21st, Skylar Harrod in the 3. Anthony Williams in the 5, he'll start 22nd. The 05 of PJ Cox rolls from the 23rd position. John Luke Wilkie, 72 out of Georgia, starts 24th. 25th is Ken Couch. 26th goes to Ben McKinnon. Russ Endicott, 27th. Crystal Volano, 28th. Nick Biddy will start 29th. Brian Torcha will start 30th. Sean Roberts, 31st. 32nd, Justin Lawson. Chuck Kiger, 33rd. 34th is Tom Barish. And 35th, shotgun on the field, it's the 119 of Eric Beadle. It's your starting grid from Auto Club Speedway. Field sits ready to roll here. One pace lap before we get underway. We're still waiting on 2 drivers to grid up. Justin Lawson and Tom Barish holding up the field here. And there we go. Now we're going to roll. May have gotten a late start here today. This race was supposed to run under the afternoon skies. Looks like we're in the evening as the lights are on here at the Speedway. Zach Millett looking to go 3 in a row this week. Albert Anderson took the win to start the season in Kansas Speedway, but Millett picked it up in Atlanta, of course, at Watkins Glen. Trying to make it 3 in a row here out in California. Pace car hits pit road. Flagman holding the green, waiting for the command.
Green, green, green.
There it is, green flag in the air. We're racing from Fontana. Field coming up to speed through turns 1 and 2. Millett with the lead. Connor Leach jumps up into the 2nd spot alongside Chris Goins. Goins with a run out of turn number 2 to the back bumper of Zach Millett down the back straightaway. Three wide behind the top 5. Those guys already pushing hard for position, trying to get all he can right off the bat. Millett now out in front. Goins still in 2nd. Now gets clear of Connor Leach. Just inches off the wall out of turn number 2. I don't know how nobody got into it. Goins pushing hard early. Goes right to the back bumper, now looks to the outside. See the sparks flying off the 315 as he works through turns 3 and 4. Car awfully close to the ground. A little bit of a bump here in the dog leg. Oh, a little wiggle from Millett on the bottom of the racetrack. Opens the door for Chris Goins on the high side. He's got the run down the backstretch. Millett's going to lose a couple of spots out of this as Dylan Bryant now charges towards the front. Still sparks flying everywhere until these tire pressures get a little bit higher. Bryant now, he's got Mike Fahey to the outside. Fahey challenging for the second spot as Millett has slipped to P4. Here comes the 18 of Joshua Moore pushing Chris Goins out to the race lead. Dylan Bryant going to try and battle back on the bottom. We're going to go 3 wide for the top spot here at Auto Club Speedway. Out of turn number 4, who's going to lead it out of the corner? It looks like Dylan Bryant's going to get clear of Chris Goins. But on the bottom side, Zach Millett trying to sneak around the shortcut. Dylan Bryant in the unsponsored black number 28. Battling with Joshua Moore for the top spot here at Fontana. Bryant tucks in behind. Moore gets clear. New race leader into turn number 3. Goins going to battle back to the inside. Little contact. Dylan Bryant off the nose of Alfie Charon. He saves it and washes up the racetrack just a bit. Everybody gets through. No caution, no wreck, no tire smoke. Aggression level on kill already here, only 6 laps in. Talked about how wide this place is. It provides a lot of room to race, but lots of room to get 3 and 4 and sometimes maybe even 5 wide. Speaking of 3 wide, Cunningham on the bottom, the number 91. He's lost 1 spot from the drop of the green flag, but just trying to take care of his stuff here. Skylar Herron up the racetrack, trying to break the draft. Changes lanes now, drops in front of Cunningham. Meanwhile, the 93 of Matt Sisler trying to work his way back to where he started. He's down 6 positions. Out in front now, Mike Fahey battling for the race lead here at Auto Club. Gets to the inside of Joshua Moore off turn 4, slides up in front of the 18, takes the top spot. He's going to lead it at the line. Will he lead it the next time by? Fahey just about an inch off the wall on entry to turn 1. Looks like Drew Blaze out there. Moore switches up the lane, gets to the inside of Fahey into 3. Here comes Alfie Charon, Zach Millett, Chris Goins. It's the Track Bar Motorsports attack. Rounding out the top 5 here, going to challenge for the race lead here momentarily, or will they? Are they just trying to settle in here to a rhythm, into a groove, take care of their stuff? Or when it really matters? Again, only 9 laps in. Don't need to burn up your stuff this early. Got to keep in mind, again, no fast repairs this week. We did have one previously. That was an accidental fast repair. Typically, this season runs without them, so keep that in mind. Alfie Charon drops to the inside. 3 wide for second, but Charon wants more. He wants to get up there and duke it out with a 19. Coming to the line, it'll be 10 laps up on the board. Millett trying to push Charon to the front here. The draft will play a part. Just got to be careful about it. Sends Alfie all the way up to Chris Goins, but Goins is going to have the better run on the higher side of the racetrack. Alfie slides up. Contact with the 13, and around he goes. Caution is out. We got a melee on the backstretch. Alfie was rolling up the racetrack, didn't see that he had a car to his right side. We were talking about this a lap or two before. You got to be careful. Can't be so aggressive so early, especially without the fast repair. And that's why. Alfie trying to get going here. He's definitely got some suspension damage. May have to tow, and indeed he does. Let's take a look at it here. First caution of the day. You saw it right there. Kind of how we called it on the broadcast. Alfie was coming up, and I think it was the 13. Of course, I didn't catch the number on that bus, but I think it was indeed the 13. Albert Anderson gets a piece of this. Joshua Moore, who's led some laps, he gets a piece of it. Dylan Bryant gets a big chunk. Some fast guys involved in this one early on. I'm going to watch it from Paul Durkee's point of view, at least from the roof cam. We're on board with the 13 car. And yeah, Alfie's just coming up. You see Durkee's right in between those two lines. You see those black lines in the pavement. It's basically the seam of the racetrack where they've separated during the paving process. Durkee had room to come up, but he didn't have to. I guess he kind of stayed put. Was trying to pinch the 9 down, I would assume. But 9 kept coming up. That's all she wrote. Yeah, Albert Anderson got a little more than he bargained for on that one. He's going to have some right rear damage. He should be able to get it fixed. So we get ready to go back to the green here. Mike Fahey is shown as your race leader. Pace car lights still on. Should get the one to go the next time across the line. That one involving Matt Sisler, Alfie Charon, Jesse Sperling, Joshua Moore, Mike Kostak, Brian Torsha, Chuck Kiger, Paul Durkee. Some others may have gotten some smaller pieces of that, but that's the bulk of it. So there you see it, pace car lights have gone out, so we're on the one to go. We'll get the green flag the next time by. Be lap 14 to cross the line. Running order as it stands right now, it's going to be Fahey, Leach, Herod, David, Biddy. That's your top 5. Then Anthony Williams, Wilkie, Goins, Millett, Welch, top 10. Still a few drivers in pit lane. Two did not take the green, Justin Lawson and Tom Barish. Not sure if they had a connection issue or if they just forgot to join as a watch. Alfie Charon jumps in. I don't know if it's Alfie or Alfred, either one. Quote, ran out of talent, shouldn't have raced. I don't know about that, he was fast. Tough break for the 9. Pace car is in. We go back to the green flag. Mike Fahey's going to lead them down. Connor Leach to the outside.
Green flag.
Fahey gets the jump on the restart, gets clear of Connor Leach, but Leach is right there. So is Herod. Leach now switches lanes, jumps to the inside, has the run out of 2, now into turn 3s to the inside of Fahey for the race lead. Fahey stays up a couple of lanes, still on the power. We'll see if he's got that run out of the corner. Fahey keeps the top spot with the momentum. Off turn 4, back to the stripe. He's going to lead the lap. Oh, more contact. Zach Millett may have been involved in that one. Possibly the 4 of Ott. We stay green, though. It appeared the 4 took the most amount of damage from that impact. Let's try and get a look at it. It's the 4 on the outside, the Nationwide Insurance paint scheme. He's got some right front damage for sure. Millett, who runs in the 10th spot. We'll see if he picked up any damage out of that. Looks pretty clean. Mike Fahey still in charge out in front of this race. I don't know if this is just a faster racetrack for Mike Fahey or what, but man, he is getting around here in a hurry. Fahey's best lap of the day right now, a 39.94. See if that chews up tires at any point throughout this run. Running that kind of a pace. He's starting to drive away from the field here. Connor Leach back in the 2nd spot, but Mike Fahey up ahead, getting smaller and smaller out the windshield. Derek Welch jumps up into the 3rd spot in a battle with the 6 of David as we got contact in behind. Nick Binney gets into the wall. I think that was off the nose of Albert Anderson. Got Lisa in the chat says, are they going to race? They are racing. I don't know if she's asking about Lawson or Barish. They're not in the race. They did not take the green flag. Maybe that's the situation. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, 19 laps in, Mike Fahey still out in front. He's got just about 4/10 of a second now over Chris Goins as Goins jumps up into the 2nd spot. Welch was in that 3rd position. I don't know what happened there, but he's lost a few positions. He's back to P6. Joe David still runs 3rd all over the back bumper of Chris Goins. Oh, trouble off turn number 2. The 119 of Beetle goes around. Caution comes out. Oh, he doesn't hold the brake. He goes up the racetrack and collects 2 more. Mark Collins in the 23 for certain. Big time wreck for Eric Beetle. First glance, it looked like he got contacted off turn 2. Around he went way down to the inside of the racetrack, but then spun it around and slid back up in front of traffic. Let's get a look at it. And it looks like it might have been Jesse Redding that slides up and gets into Beetle. We'll back this up a little further. So the 119 there, they're technically 3 wide. Redding on the bottom, Anderson up top. And Beetle starts coming down, gets to the right rear of Jesse Redding, sends him up into Anderson, ping-pongs him back into Redding a little bit. But you see, it gets him sideways. He hits Anderson another time. And Beetle gets backwards in traffic, gets down to the apron, but see, this is where you got to hold the brake, because now he's going to slide up back in front of the race traffic. Mark Collins is going to come in here and hit him. And I think that's the 79 of Woodard. Tough break. So I see this in 2 different ways. Beetle definitely should have held the brake before he went up the racetrack, but you heard Collins lift for a second, but then he gets right back to the throttle. Caution was out. If he had just checked up, I think he'd have been okay. So second caution of the night. Through that exchange, Chris Goins now your race leader. Fahey took the opportunity to hit pit lane, so he went in. Looks like it was fuel only for Mike Fahey. He's going to come back out in the 10th spot. Top 2 is going to be Chris Goins and Zach Millett. They made a pit stop at lap 11. That was also for fuel only. Nick Biddy runs 3rd. He has yet to make a pit stop. Dan Cunningham also came down on to lap 11 for fuel only. Anthony Williams stayed out. And then lap 11 and 12 for everybody else inside the top 10. Again, 10th place Mike Fahey. He pit just this time. So 22 laps in of 80 here from Auto Club Speedway. Working our second caution of the evening. Chris Goins is your leader. Then it's Zach Millett, Nick Biddy, Dan Cunningham, Jesse Redding, the top 5. So you see it there, pace car lights are out. Track Bar Motorsports teammates Chris Goins, Zach Millett going to restart on the front row. And it's Nick Biddy, Dan Cunningham, Jesse Redding. And it looks like the 81 of Brian Torsha.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Decent jump by Chris Goins. He's going to go up the racetrack here, block the advance of Zach Millett. Inside open for Nick Biddy, but the top 2 remain the same through turns 1 and 2. Nick Biddy on the attack alongside Dan Cunningham. One car in the wall, Brian Torsha checking everybody up. Everybody gets through cleanly, it appears. Another car in the wall. I think Brian Torsha having some troubles. Torch going to come to pit lane here. I don't know if he's got a problem with his equipment. Anthony Williams going to come down as well. A few drivers. Jarrett Woodard, Anthony Williams, Brian Torsha, Ken Couch, Mark Collins. Some of those guys have been on there since the previous caution. Not sure what's going on here with the 81. Either way, Torch was in a good spot at the time, but now we get a battle for the top spot. Nick Biddy to the inside, takes the position from Chris Gones. Gones stays up the racetrack, has the run out of 4, might get alongside the 32. Gonna challenge back, he is alongside into turn number 1. Gones retakes the top spot. Millett follows him through to second. Biddy relegated back to P3, but he's got Dan Cunningham all over the back bumper. Jesse Redding in the 5th position. Battle for the lead here. Millett going for the top spot. Not much of a challenge or defense, I guess you could say, from Chris Gones. Again, it is early, and it is a teammate. He had the run. Biddy thought he was going to follow Zach through. It didn't pay off, but he's not giving up just yet. Still alongside Chris Gones for second. Gones trying to hold off the 32 of Nick Biddy, but Derek Welch has come back into the fray. He's on the back bumper of the 32. Jesse Redding in the tire tracks of Chris Gones. Here comes Mike Fahey back on the charge. Remember, he was very fast early on. Made a pit stop during our recent caution. He's worked his way from the 10th spot back up into P6. We got a battle for second once again. Chris Gones trying to go around the outside of Nick Biddy down the backstretch. Big time run out of turn 2. Jesse Redding's going to follow him through. Gones clear as day into turn number 3. Redding unable to get clear of Biddy. They're still side by side. Connor Leach switching the lane big time. Drops it all the way down to the apron. Trying to shortcut the lap. That's legal here. You can go all the way down to the grass if you want. Meanwhile, Fahey up into the 4th spot if you can get clear of Leach between 4th and 5th right now. Fahey still running that number 19. Millett still out in front. Chris Gones, Jesse Redding the top 3. Mike Fahey runs 4th. Connor Leach 5th. Battle now for second. Connor Leach to the inside of Chris Gones. We'll see if he can get clear. Leach has been fast all through practice and qualifying and the first stages of this race. Number 71 Canadian Tire. Number 71 the black, red, and white machine there just ahead of the 3 of Skylar Harrod. Not able to complete the pass, but now stays alongside Jesse Redding. Redding gets the nose just to the right rear of the 71 out of 4. They break away from each other. Leach running the low lane, Redding all the way up top. Side by side battling. just about everybody outside the top 3. Now we're 3 wide for third. Leach, Redding, and Biddy for a moment. Here comes Skylar Harrod and Joe David as well. Harrod in the 3, David in the 6, Derek Welch up top in the 1. Meanwhile, Brandon Coleman, where did he come from? Coleman jumps up to the race lead. I didn't see him in the top 10. He snuck in there. Coleman made a pit stop at lap 21. Looks like he took at least right sides. A 12.9 second stop. It's certainly plenty of time to put rights on. His last lap, a 40.96 versus Millett's 41.47. So the right side tire change to his advantage. It's also got Millett to put the hammer down a little harder here. He's starting to pull away from the rest of the field as well. We still got a battle, 3-wide battle here with Jesse Redding in the middle. Nick Biddy's on pit lane. I don't know if Nick made a pit stop as of yet. In fact, no, he has not. The fuel window tonight, 26 to 30 laps. With the cautions, he went another 4 extra laps. And this still might be a premature stop, but planned nonetheless. Oh, loses connection. We've seen that with Nick a couple of times, but so far he's back in. 4 tire change for the 32. Drops the jack and goes. Now, the draft here at Auto Club, it's important. It's not as important as Daytona or Talladega, but it's going to hurt a little bit being out there by yourself unless you can get blended back up. Granted, some of these drivers are going to need to make pit stops relatively soon as well. Some as soon as the next 9 or 10 laps. Some as long as the next 19 to 20 laps, depending on when they made their pit stops during those cautions. Biddy's back out there in 25th, definitely a lap down. Back out front, though, Brandon Coleman leads it. Millett applying some pressure here, wanting to see what he can do against the fresh right sides of Brandon Coleman. Coleman continues to lead, but Connor Leach now applying pressure to Zach Millett. Millett may have pushed a little bit too hard, got his tires a little warm. Checking out our biggest mover of the night so far. It's the 51 of Chris Klein. Klein is up 24 positions. Started dead last. Jesse Sperling in the number 29. Jesse with Vickers Auto Parts on board this week. Out in front, Coleman still has the race lead. Millett right there. Joe David now up to third spot. Goins runs fourth. Leach slips back to P5, but he's trying to take fourth back away from Chris Goins. Field starting to spread out just a bit. Chris Goins, though, crosses over on Zach Millett, goes to the inside, was then unable to get alongside of the 315. Joe David takes over the top spot. Coleman trying to steal it back away, but Millett tucks in behind the 6. There's a deja vu for you. Millett swings it wide, opens up the wheel off turn 4. A little bit more momentum to do that. Gets clear Coleman. Joe David, your race leader, at the stripe. Millett second. Coleman third, but for how long is Chris Goins working around the outside? He wants the position. Right side tires were effective for a little while, but it hasn't seemed to pay off on the long run. As Coleman's starting to lose position. He's very fast early on those right sides. 40 laps complete here from Auto Club Speedway. We're going to step aside, take our HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Auto Club Speedway, green flag pit stops underway for some drivers. Zach Millett being one, Chris Goins. Sean Roberts, Chuck Kiger also hitting pit lane. Millett's pit stop, 4 tires and fuel, 15.1 seconds, nothing to write home about. Meanwhile, out front, Connor Leach still with the lead, Skylar Herod and Joe David the top 3. Then it's Coleman, Fahey, Welch, Endicott, PJ Cox, Wilkie, Klein, Sperling, all the way to 11th. Oh, a little contact. Chris Goins. I think that might have been Joe David he got into. Incidental contact off turn number 4. Goins lost a lap in that pit stop. He's trying to work his way back to get it the old-fashioned way. Either get by Nick Biddy or get by the race leader. Or let Biddy get by the race leader. Now Goins in the lucky dog position as Biddy gets clear. He unlaps himself. Goins is going to do the same here with the fresh tires. Connor Leach still your race leader. Skylar Herod runs second. Joe David third. Coleman fourth. Welch fifth. Right now everybody within the top 16. Gonna need to make a pit stop relatively soon. They came down at lap 21. 26 to 30 laps, roughly the fuel window here. I think 30's at the absolute max. Connor Leach with a couple of tenths on Skylar Herod. Herod really closing the gap on Connor Leach right now. They pitted about the same time, lap 21 for both drivers. Both drivers took 4 tires. I think it might be a matter of 71 maybe didn't take care of his tires as well as the 3 did. That could be the issue, or just knowing that Leach is getting ready for a pit stop. Brandon Coleman and Mike Fahey hit pit lane. Ben McKinnon and Albert Anderson also going to come to the attention of their pit crews. Fahey in the pit box, right side tire change. Drew around to the left. So 4 tires in Sunoco race fuel for Mike Fahey. He's down and away. 15.3 seconds to pit stop. PJ Cox on pit road. These are all the drivers that pit during our last caution, lap 21. At the time, prior to these most recent stops with Mike Fahey and the like, there's everybody inside the top 16 that's going to need to make a pit stop soon. Right now, it's the top 9 that still need to come down. Dylan Bryant, the number 28, some damage on that machine. He's down in the pit lane. Remember, he was involved in one of those earlier cautions. Jesse Sperling peels off the racetrack. Connor Leach maintains the top spot, but again, he's got to be coming to pit lane at any minute. And here they come. Leach and Herod both getting it mowed down to pit road speed. From the race lead, Leach, Herod, David, Welch, Endicott, the top 5 all on pit road at the same time. Herod makes the hard left. So that's going to give the race lead over to Chris Klein. So once this all cycles through, I would venture a guess that Millett's going to go to the lead. Just like that, he's up into the second spot. Klein still on the racetrack. He's going to come to pit road this time by, yes he is, getting her mowed down. So Chris Klein brings the number 51 down pit road. Scheduled pit stop. And another 4-tire change for the 51. Drops the jack, he's down and away. 15.07 seconds. So Millett back out in front. Chris Goins in the second position, about a half second off the back bumper. Then it's Jesse Redding, Nick Biddy, Connor Leach, the top 5. Track Bar Motorsports 1, 2, 3 at the present. .25 laps remain. Nick Biddy's going to hit pit road. Right now, Zach Millett has got to figure out a strategy situation here or hope for a caution, because if he can go 30 laps on a tank of fuel, he's still going to be about 6 laps short. That's the same story for Chris Goins and Jesse Redding alike. Connor Leach, however, made his pit stop at lap 53, which means he should be good to go to the end, even if we do not get a caution. The top 3 drivers right now are going to need to make another stop unless we get a yellow. At which point, if they still have tires over the wall, you might see them come down anyway. Top 2 nose to tail here with 24 laps to go. Jesse Redding back in third. He's about 8.2 seconds off the race leaders. Connor Leach, who's good to go to the end, runs 4th. Skylar Herod, though, right there. Car length and a half off the back bumper of the 71. This very well could be the battle for the win if we stay green to the end, because those top 3 are in a pickle. Battle for position number 6, Brandon Coleman and Mike Fahey. Fahey having a wonderful run here tonight. Started 10th, runs in the 7th spot, led some laps early and looked very, very fast. Derek Welch running back in the 8th spot. Alfie Charon's made it back on the track. Charon now running 31st. Or Alfie was involved in that first caution we had tonight. Took 12 laps, but they got the car fixed enough to get back out there and try to pick up some spots and some valuable points. Dan Cunningham back in 13th. Chris Klein there after his pit stop. Chuck Kiger in the 22. Brian Torsha on the low side, the number 81. Vine slips up the track a bit there. I don't know if that was a little bit of a block or if he just lost the nose a bit. Oh, 4 wide. Are we going to go there? Woodard thought about it. He lifted. It opened the door for Torsha to get through the mix. This is not for position, though. Torch running a little deeper in the field in 26th. They have a tire advantage, though. Gets through this group of cars relatively fast. Meanwhile, Dan Cunningham in the 15th spot. He did take tires on his pit stop, but it was a lot earlier than the 81 of Torch. Joe David still running in the top 10. Trying to reel in PJ Cox. Alfie Charon off turn 2, dumps it way down to the bottom of the racetrack. I think Alfie might be coming to the pits. So Alfie comes to pit road. Meanwhile, back out front, still Zach Millett, Chris Goins, the top 2. 19 laps remain. Connor Leach now finds himself in the 3rd position. Skylar Harrod still right there. He's lost a little bit of ground. Matt Sisler in the 21st position, sitting right behind Harrod, though. Again, Sisler not on the lead lap presently. Jesse Redding has slipped back to 5th, and he's got Mike Fahey all over the back bumper. Fahey turns down the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to make the pass on Redding without much of a challenge. Redding thought about crossing him over. Just didn't have the momentum to do anything with it. Back out front, Millett and Goins 1 and 2. Leach is still 3rd, but starting to reel these guys in, regardless of the fact that they're going to need to pit for fuel. Taking a look at the lap times, Millett and Goins running almost identical lap times. Millett 41.59 to Goins 41.55. Connor Leach a 41.17. Again, he pit about 9 laps later. And here comes Millett and Goins. They're going to pit right now. And given the time frame that they're going to make this pit stop, I'm assuming they've got a set of tires over the wall. So that's going to give Connor Leach the race lead. Again, he is good to go to the end. Clearly, these guys are all teammates. They're on the same strategies. Jesse Redding also comes down to pit. Millett's going to take right. So is Goins. Right's only for Zach Millett. Right's only for Chris Goins. Does Jesse do the same? Jesse might have got fuel only. Those guys are down and away, but their race all but lost. So this is the battle for the race lead. Connor Leach, Skylar Harrod, Mike Fahey now up into the 3rd spot. Fahey's back about 4 seconds, a little less. Millett and Goins able to complete their pit work without losing a lap, so they're not completely out of this one yet, but they're definitely going to need a caution to try and get caught up. They're only about 7 seconds ahead of the race leaders right now. We'll go on board the driver's eye camera with Skylar Herod. These cameras courtesy of Whiplash Sim Cams. All the cameras you're watching here tonight courtesy of Whiplash Sim Cams. If you're looking for stellar custom camera packs for your broadcast, check them out. Mike Fahey still running in the third position. He's got a little over a second of an advantage over the fourth place machine of Derek Welch. Nick Biddy back in the frame, but Nick is 21st. One lap down. Chuck Kiger is going to hit pit road. Might be out of fuel. No, he's still running. Likely a splash and go, maybe right sides. Oh, fuel only for Kiger. So there's the battle for the race lead here with less than 11 laps to go. Jesse Redding with some fresh rubber, taking advantage of that. Going to catch the leaders here and unlap himself. Redding running in the 18th spot. Not able to get there just yet. It's alongside Skylar Herod for the second spot. Herod was trying to make a move for the race lead, but saw Redding was there. Couldn't dive down to the bottom. Going to switch it up, go to the outside, try to snip the draft off Dylan Bryant. Let's see if that works to his advantage. Leach slips up the racetrack, kind of slows down that run. Redding now to the inside of the race leader, trying to take back that lap on his own. And Redding, likely fuel only on his pit stop. Gets around, gets clear. Derek Welch now tucks right up behind Mike Fahey. This four position for the third spot. Fahey up the racetrack. Derek Welch down low. Trying to jump into that top three. 8 laps remain. Last lap for Welch, a 41.88 to Mike Fahey's 41.85. Welch has the run to the inside. Might get clear on exit. It's close, but he's got him cleared. Fahey dumps down to the bottom there to pick up the draft on Welch. See if he can battle back into 3, but he's not close enough to do it. Let's move Derek Welch into the top 3. Still has work to do. 6 seconds back from the leaders. The top 2 quite a ways out in front. Connor Leach still leads it. Skylar Herod second. times between these two awfully close. 41.64 to 41.67 the last time by. Across the stripe this time by. How close is it? Connor Leach a little bit slower. 41.74 to Skylar Harrod's 62. 5 laps to go. Harrod's deciding it's time to go. Harrod a little slower the last time by. Still had the run down into 1 and 2, though. I think if he gets there and if he gets clear, he might be able to put some distance on Connor Leach, but it's a matter of getting there. Clean air is king, and Connor Leach is chewing up all of it right now. There is a lap car up ahead. We'll see if that plays a part here before this one's over. Back at the line, 3 laps to go. Connor Leach. Faster once again, not by a lot, but enough. Half a tenth quicker the last 2 laps. I just wonder if Harrod already used up his stuff or if he has something in reserve here. If he does, he's going to have to use it soon. Coming to 2 laps to go. Harrod quicker that time. That's just it, though. It's one thing to be faster, but you got to be fast enough to get alongside and clear. Wonder if we're going to see him use the bumper here in that last lap. This is a tough place to do that. Certainly not Martinsville. Harrod's right there. A little bit of contact maybe through turn 4. Coming to the white flag. Harrod is right there at the stripe. White flag in the air. Final lap. Harrod going for the race lead and possibly the win here at Auto Club Speedway. Side by side down into turn number 1. Harrod's down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got a car in front, but the run coming to the outside. Connor Leach, Skylar Harrod, side by side off turn 2. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Harrod's going to slide in behind. Couldn't get clear of Leach. He's going to have one more opportunity into turns 3 and 4. Does he dive it down deep? Hard on the throttle. He goes down there, has to lift to avoid contact. He didn't want to wreck him, but it's going to cost him the win. Out of turn number 4, it's going to be Connor Leach, or is it? It is. Connor Leach takes the checkered flag here at Auto Club. Mike Fahey comes home in the 3rd spot. I don't know what happened to Derek Welch, but Fahey got back around. Connor Leach had to hold off a hard charge on that final lap from Skylar Harrod, was able to do it successfully. And some real clean racing and driving from Skylar Harrod there. He dove it in deep into 3. Had to lift to avoid contact. What a finish. What a race. Great race. Strong run by Mike Fahey tonight. Started 10th, finishes 3rd. Skylar Harrod, though, started 21st. He gets P2. Connor Leach making an extra lap just for good measure. Connor Leach backing it up the front straightaway. Connor Leach clearly very happy about this one. These guys are happy. All right, well, we're going to jump out here, get a break out of the way, and hopefully have our top 3 finishers in the booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Auto Club Speedway, Connor Leach, our 3rd winner on the season in 4 races, adds his name to the short list. Let's pull the driver, the number 71, up into the broadcast booth and get his thoughts on the final laps here at Auto Club. Connor, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Connor, congratulations, man. An awesome win here tonight. A little bit of strategy to get you up there, but certainly had the pace in qualifying. You kind of maintained it. You were always really a factor, but walk us through the final pit stop, and then most importantly, that final lap, Skylar Herod putting on a charge, got side by side, just couldn't quite get clear. Walk us through how you defended that.
We were kind of talking to each other, and we were talking about it like, we gotta at least make it to the white before anything happens. And he had the speed. I was very impressed with my teammate there, Skylar. I mean, he came from, I think, 21st all the way up there, and with the strategy that Caleb, his speed shop, he kind of told us what to do in a way and said it's up to you, but that's what I would do, and we did it, and yeah, it worked out. We got a little bit lucky. I mean, you know, it's got to work out with cautions, and it did. We didn't have any cautions in that last pit stop round because we had taken tires, I think, on lap 20, so we kind of swapped it. The plan, I think, going in would be, you know, go 30 laps, take tires and fuel, go 30 laps, take tires and fuel, then you got 20 laps to go, and you could undercut if you wanted to, but we kind of basically did the opposite. I think we were on lap 20 something, and second caution came out, or second or third, I guess it was, and yeah, we came in, put a set of tires on, and went green from there, so it worked out for us.
Well, you showed some strength on the road course last week, and here with the race win on the oval, are you getting ready for a championship run?
I mean, I wasn't even there for the road course last week. I was on vacation, but yeah, I mean, hopefully we've had it. When I've been here, we've had good runs. The first race didn't quite pan out for me, just with a speeding penalty. In the second race, we were right up there with Millet, and then this one we got it with the strategy.
So that's how good you were on road courses. You didn't even show up, and I think you did well.
I guess so, but yeah, no, it was a good race here, and hopefully we keep this momentum going for our team.
So that momentum rolling into Chicagoland Speedway, another, I guess you could call lost speedway, so to speak, but we're running there next week. It's a great racetrack, rather unique, a little different than this place. How do you feel about Chicagoland next week?
I'm not sure. I think I've run a couple official races there, maybe. It's one of those ones I have not run much. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure throughout the week I'll try it out a couple times and see, but usually just get into the practice sessions and run some laps, see what everyone's doing, and go from there.
All right, Connor. Well, again, congratulations on the race win here tonight. Who do you want to shout out to before I let you go?
The biggest shout out would be Caleb Sisk in the Sisk Speed Shop. He had a couple of us who's in our ears and helping us out with driving the cars and learning a little bit about what makes these things tick. And then the strategy obviously is definitely him. I probably would have gone a little bit different route because I usually like having tires at the end, but this time it worked out for us the way he intended. And then Skunkworks Graphics, Skunkworks Alan, and then obviously Skylar and Nick Biddy were out there. We were kind of talking with each other, and Skylar, I was very, very impressed with his driving tonight. He did a hell of a job. I kind of thought he was going to get past me at the end, I'll be honest.
Well, you guys certainly made it look good. Again, congratulations, and good luck next week at Chicago.
Thanks, Steve.
It's Connor Leach, your race winner here at Auto Club Speedway. Job well done. I don't know why I thought he was at the Glen. I'm losing it. Skylar Harrod next, our runner-up here. Certainly made it interesting. We'll pull him up in the broadcast booth. The driver of the number 3, Skylar Harrod at Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Skylar, congratulations, man. You certainly made it look good out there. You had the pace. You and Connor were kind of going back and forth on the lap times there at the end, and that white flag comes out. You get alongside. I think you probably could have slide jobbed him a bit, but it was pretty close. You opted not to. And then that final couple of corners, you seemed to drive it deep into the corner, but had to lift to avoid contact. Walk us through that final lap. What was going through your mind?
So yeah, we were kind of just keeping pace with each other. I was kind of seeing how he was riding his lines and stuff. I told him coming to the white flag that now I'm happy with the team 1-2 finish, but he called me out instantly as I said that, and he said, I don't know, you might try something. And yeah, turn 3, I definitely could have had him, but he changed up his line to come down and block a little bit late. But with him being a teammate, I slammed on the brakes a little bit there to avoid the contact. But yeah, we were having a good time out there.
Certainly a fun race to watch, especially there at the conclusion. You made it interesting. Moving on next week to Chicagoland Speedway, another intermediate style racetrack, a little bit smaller than Auto Club. How do you feel about your chances to have another solid run? Maybe you pick up a win next week.
All I'm going to say is Sisk Speed Shop, he's going to hook you up next week. I'll tell you that.
Fair enough. With that said, Skylar, anybody else you want to shout out to?
Yes, Skunkworks Graphics for wrapping all my cars. Sisk Speed Shop, he was in our ears the entire race, giving us good strategies. We executed the strategies well. I'd like to thank LLM, our sister team, I guess you could say, and you for broadcasting, and can't wait to be out here next week.
All right, Skylar, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
I appreciate it, sir.
Skylar Harrod, your runner-up. Next, we're going to talk to our buddy, good old Mike Fahey. Didn't wreck tonight by any means. Parked the race car in the third position. Got that position from Derek Welch late. Mike, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How are you, Steve?
Mike, congratulations. Man, you look like Drew Blaze out there tonight. What a run.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked to you.
It has, but walk us through the late stages of this race here. Derek Welch took that third position away. We didn't catch the repass by you. How did you get that position back from the one there in the last couple of laps?
Well, it felt like we had probably the fastest car I've had in 7 years. I don't know. It felt fast as heck, but Drew Blaze has been spotting for me for the entire season, and he seems to be spotting for me more than he's racing now. He spots for me 3 nights a week, and it's about to be 4 probably. So we had a lot of speed, and I was holding on to it. We were like 0.3 laps to the good there at the end, so I needed a lot of draft help, and I think Derek got me there actually.
Looking at the results, I think you're actually third on the results. I'll have to double check that. Was it close at the line? Is that the issue?
No, so I passed him. I should be third, but I would not have made it there without drafting behind DW for probably the last 3 or 4 laps. That's why I let him go in front of me, and then I think we had the speed to get past him at the end.
I got you. Well, it was certainly impressive. You got some lap sled tonight, and you were driving away from the field there with the clean air. Is this a place that's just kind of on the top of your list of places you'd like to run?
Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of laps here. I got wrecked out in the Xfinity League last night, and I don't know, just never really felt comfortable, but the car was on rails tonight, and it paid off. We got to lead some laps for the first time in a while, and I kept yelling to Drew, we led a lap, we led 2 laps, we led 3 laps.
Well, next week, Chicagoland Speedway, as we said to Skylar Harrod, another intermediate track, a little bit smaller, and really no straightaway anywhere to speak of. How do you feel about your chances out at Chicago next week for at least another top 3, maybe top 5?
We're going to need some practice laps. I don't think I've ran Chicagoland in probably 2 years, so we definitely need some practice. We'll get into the practice sessions during the week and see what we can do.
All right, Mike, nice job, man. Who do you want to thank?
We got to thank Lone Star Racing teammates for first and foremost, and Drew Blaze more than probably anybody else out there. He's been helping me left and right and passing people, and he's been helping me a ton. And then obviously family, got loads of family watching. And then quick shout out to the Austin Bulldog Rescue. Anybody in Texas looking for a bulldog, it's a great organization, and you can hit them up on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, Mike, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve.
Mike Fahey, your third place finisher here at Auto Club Speedway. Always good to talk to Mike. He's right, it's been a while, but it's good to see him up in top 3 so you can get a word on the broadcast. Let's take a look at the race results. We talked, of course, to our top 3 already. Connor Leach, Skylar Harrod, Mike Fahey. 4th place was Derek Welch. 5th went to PJ Cox. PJ Sperling finished off in the 6th position. I'm sorry, Jesse Sperling. Did I say Jesse Sperling? I'm losing it. Brandon Coleman was 7th. Chris Klein was 8th. Joe David finishes out in the 9th spot. Russ Endicott was 10th. John Luke Wilkie was 11th. Dan Cunningham was 12th. Zach Millett finished out in the 13th position. Chris Goins was 14th. Benjamin McKinnon was 15th. Jesse Redding 16th. 17th went to Joshua Moore. Dylan Bryant fast early finishes 18th. First car 1 lap down. 19th place finisher was Nick Biddy. 20th went to Sean Roberts. Matt Sisler 21st. Jarrett Woodard 22nd. 23rd, Crystal Villano. Albert Anderson 24th. Brian Torsha 25th. Chuck Kiger 26th. Anthony Williams 27th. 28th position went to Ken Couch. Mark Collins 29th. Paul Durkee 30th. Alfie Charon Jr. 31st. Fast early on, was involved in that first incident. Tough night for the 9. Eric Beadle was 32nd. Jim Ott 33rd. Mike Kostek finishes 34th. And Justin Lawson and Tom Barish classified but did not take the green here this evening. It's going to wrap it up for us here at HBR TV. Again, congratulations to Connor Leach taking the checkered flag here tonight in thrilling fashion over teammate Skylar Harrod. Tune in next week, same time, same channel, here at Chicagoland Speedway this time. Should be a good one as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.